the time it's done.
Yeah,
so
told you we got to start with Adam.
we got to start with some
We don't need him.
hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Don't you mean hi, Pat, this time?
Also,
to watch
hi, Pat.
Yeah, you have to watch all this to get caught up.
All right,
No, it's always hi, Justin.
so who would like to give a quick recap of last session?
Clara fucked around and found out.
That is, yeah. That is very accurate.
You know what? Yeah, I have no notes. All right, so I'm just gonna put some background music on, and we can get started. So, we are in combat order right now.
Oh boy.
I thought we got away.
You are outside. So some of you have gotten away. Some of you are still there. Like Tavro's like still in that portcullis.
Yeah, because of Lizzie.
Way to go, Lizzie.
Also, I can't
Hold on,
get the
not
game to
because
fully
of
load.
me.
No, yes, because of
Clara. Because
you. Who
of
is controlled
Clara.
by you?
It was all Clara.
The
anybody else's
quintessential.
reaction
It's not me.
to
It's
that?
what my character would do.
She possesses me during these sessions. I can't control it.
Ken.
Well, Clara did act last in the combat, murdering the ogre chain brute with a firebolt. And that will bring us to... Oh, fuck. Of course it...
You're
You know what?
welcome.
Kai has already escaped. We're just going to skip him. Escher has...
Yeah,
Actually, this
fuck
is literally just a Tavro and... Just Tavro.
I can't get into the game.
Who controlled me last session?
I do believe that this was the accurate position of where I was because I had to stay back half a second to command Clara to run.
Gideon just ran, so Gideon's safe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Once it was decided that the group was running, I just had Gideon action dash, bonus action dash. Gideon is like a mile ahead of everybody else, just escaping off the map.
he's a runner. He's a track star.
Exactly. He is Christopher Sheldon.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, so because everyone is just running, I believe the only one still actually on the map. I'm saying if you got off the map, we're just gonna say you're still running. It's just Tavro. So we're gonna.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna because Brian, are you in the game yet?
No, it's not loading. Like it got to 99% once, and now like when I like refresh it, it's just like a blank screen with like the Foundry logo in the top left.
Try hitting Control F5 and see if that helps, because that'll reset
If this wipes my computer.
It won't. It just refreshes the page without keeping the previous data on it.
Nope, that didn't work. Inspectors. Just the Foundry logo and a blank page.
Well, for the time being, it goes down to the giant... Sorry, not even giant. Gargantuan spectral being
Well,
that has chased you down.
I would have gone first, and there might be some way that I can help him, which is kind of why I want to see if he could get in, to see if he wanted me to do anything for him. Because worst case scenario, I can at least heal him. That way if something hits him, it's less impactful. I mean, I know he's doing... I can actually see on the initiative tracker that he's okay on health. But I was gonna... I guess I was gonna see... Brian, is there anything you think I could do for you to try and help you out of there? Like, what are you planning on doing?
I forget how close I am to that thing, because I think... No, I go before it, right?
You go after it, so it was you, then Gideon,
Gotcha.
then Clara. Clara killed the ogre. Everybody else is running. Escher is within range to help
Yeah.
you out if needed. And we're just gonna
Fucking
do this
shit.
theater of the mind, I guess, because you're having trouble loading in. So, Escher, as it gets to your turn, you're all running. I believe you've been... There's multiple people who have light spells cast on them, I think. So
someone
should
does.
be able to
Yeah,
see.
I have the Twilight aura up right now.
Yeah, so you should be able to see. What would you like to do? Tavro's
And,
the only one kind of still lagging behind.
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm looking through everything I have to see if I can, if there's anything I can do to help him out of there. And I think I have all of the wrong spells for that, which is fine. Because like I said, worst case scenario, I can just heal him. Because turns out, Long Strider cannot be cast on another creature. That is, or no, not Long Strider.
Yes.
Expeditious Retreat.
Yeah. We learned that in Connor's one shot Elysium.
Man, it's a lot of things. We learned a lot of things at a lot of times. Yeah, and then enhance ability doesn't give you movement speed or anything. It's just dexterity checks, so I don't think that's going to be super useful to you. So I think I'm just going to do.
Hey, we have a Kai.
And I'm gonna use this at 2nd level. And wait. Let me make sure I'm targeting you first before I accidentally heal myself. Okay, there we go. I am. Oh, fuck, come on, Tundry. It is this one. Do that. 2nd level. Cast spell. Did that? Oh, there we go. There's.
I see it came up. Looks. Yeah, there's the roll.
Yeah, there it is. Wow, that was not much at all. That was pretty dumpy, but it's okay.
That
so
was literally the average.
That was exactly average.
yeah, and I wanted better than that. Did he get the health back? I didn't see his health bar go up.
Yeah, he got it.
Oh, all right. And then I'll just use. That's only a bonus action, so I guess I can just use the rest of my action to dash and catch up with the rest of them, and I'll just tell them like, "Don't slow down now. We gotta get out of here." No, that'll be the end.
We're running the fuck away. I forgot about that.
Around this time, you see as the swarm of insects, locusts, and crawl that made up the body of Aldrich, that was temporarily with you, begins to dissipate and fade, and you just hear, "Guys, my psychic connection is faltering." Another time, and the swarm of bugs dissipates, and at that point, Fox, you are already off the map, so you're just gonna continue running.
Am I within 60 feet of Tavro?
Sure.
Then may I throw him another healing word too?
Go for it. And then after this, we're saying that anybody who is like off the border of the map is just out of the combat.
Yeah, which would be me. I'll put myself a little more out. A little clearer.
Gideon's like 20 miles past, so
Yeah.
and Kai was also sprinting away, so it's pretty much just Tavro after this healing word. All right. Tavro, the spectral force that is now like right up against the gate, pushes down a large claw and shouts out,
"Run now, but come back when I'm in the flesh, and you will suffer."
and from what you can tell, it does not move past the border of where the wall that Clara had built up. Like, it reaches out a claw, but as it passes over that kind of like border of the manor, you see as the spectral form begins to dissipate a little bit, and it pulls back the claw and is now just shouting out to you. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess if it's not chasing anymore, then I just run.
All right.
Flex on him, taunt him, do it.
Oh, he wants to, but he just said he's not in the flesh. So is it like astral projecting as well, like a similar thing to Aldrich?
You can give an Arcana roll if you
I
want.
cannot.
I can do one for you if you would
Yes,
like.
please. Like just like normally that thought wouldn't be in Tavro's head, but considering he said not in the
You
flesh
got a
and
nat
Alder-
1,
Nice.
and with your intelligence of -1, that ends up being a 0.
Nice.
This is a big, beefy boy.
Yeah,
You don't know
Tavro
what
Tavro does not
astral
consider
projection
these things there beneath him.
But you do see that it looks like he, at least for the time being, is contained by the borders of the manor.
I gotcha.
So are you just running?
Yep.
In that case, we can bring this out of combat order as you've killed all of the combatants other than him, and he seems to be trapped by the borders of the manor. So I'm
See,
going to
guys,
clear.
I knew everything would be okay.
So I'm going to clear out the
Oh,
initiative.
did you now?
Yeah, I just knew it.
Everything was going to be okay, says the suicidal goblin.
Not
Everything
intentionally
is
Not
suicidal.
suicidal. Yeah, exactly. It's not on purpose.
All right. So, as you all kind of head out and get beyond the borders, you run far enough away where you're now, we'll call it about a mile down the road. You all stop to catch your breath. You've confirmed. Actually, everybody can give a survival check to see if survival or perception to see if anything is tracking you, or to try and cover your tracks as you go.
Can you roll for Clara, please?
Yes. Are you going perception or survival? What are you trying to do? Just like keep an eye out or cover your tracks?
Brian, I like
Clara's
the
keeping an
0.
eye out.
Does it show 0 for what I rolled?
Yeah.
Oof.
For my survival check?
Yeah.
No, that's the
Oh,
Arcana.
No, your
Yeah,
survival
yeah,
you got a
that was
15.
the
The
Arcana
Arcana
check.
was a
Yeah.
0.
Oh, is that the Arcana? Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
also,
yep,
I
yep.
take it you're in the game now that
Yes.
you can roll?
Until just this second, it didn't actually, like, the map wasn't loaded in, but everything else was, but now everything's loaded in.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're having a bit
it's not
of
your fault.
storm.
I don't know. That's never happened to me though. I don't know what. I don't
So-
know why it's different.
I'll try to
Yeah.
close some windows on my computer to free up some memory.
Yeah.
All right, so as you all begin to catch your breath, some of you are covering your tracks as you go, going off of the main path into the woods a little bit. You have a druid with you who is, even though they're new to being a druid, they are also an accomplished spy. Gideon is quite adept at covering your tracks. So is Tavro, having spent time both in the Boros and tracking the Gruul through various raids. He's learned to find their tracks, so he knows a bit about covering his own. Clara and Kai, you're pretty confident that you don't see anyone following you once you get far enough away from the manor. You've all decided about a mile in, a bit off of the path, you can catch your breaths, talk to each other, and figure out your next steps.
Can I just say that when you said we had a druid amongst us, I was about to say, how fucking dare you, before I realized you were not talking about me.
Correct. You got a 9 on your perception check. You were not only not trying to cover your tracks, but you also wouldn't have done a good job on it.
No, God, no. I'm not trained to do that.
He was out there stepping on every bud spot and hitting every twig he could.
Yeah, for science.
Even so much as marking on the trees as we run by.
I've actually been signing my name on every tree.
He's just been pissing everywhere.
He's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs so he can find his way back.
Okay.
So, having managed to accomplished the initial mission of taking out the 2 giants guarding the gate, raising a bit of a commotion, which that was apparently what you were told was the initial mission. Take out those giants and get them to focus on the main gate so that the other gates would be less guarded. You weren't able to complete the subterfuge mission of making it into the manor without tripping the alarms, as that gargantuan creature that chased you out. It is clear that with the second Cambion making it into the manor, they are well aware of your presence. What would you all like to do?
I propose. Oh, I'm sorry. I propose we lay low and regroup.
Well, that certainly
I
beats
sort
the
of
other
get
option of
along.
dying. Fox, you seem to be quite in tune with this sort of thing, seeing as you speak to them frequently. Any idea what that creature was that we saw?
Anyone
get a
who would
clear-
like can give an Arcana or a Religion check other than Tavro. Tavro, unfortunately, you already failed yours.
May Maralathia use the help action on my history check?
Actually, in this specific case, yes, you have advantage consulting Maralathia. This is something Maralathia has faced before, but her memories are scattered from that time, so it's a question of whether or not she recalls it.
Oh, you said Arcana or Religion. Change that to... My Arcana is also a +0. It is still a 15.
Okay, still a 15. Would anybody else like to roll?
I do not think that is
make
something I
an
would know.
Arcana check, please.
Also,
Alright.
as the person who asked, I don't think I should roll.
And that's also fair. Clara, you got a
You
9.
need somebody else to roll, because you know you couldn't.
Yeah.
Alright. So, it does kind of make sense that none of you in particular recognize this, but Maralathia is able to give you some scattered information about it. She knows that she has fought one of these before, or something similar, but doesn't remember all of the details. It was a demon, but not one that normally roams Ravnica. One summoned from another plane. It wasn't here completely in the flesh, which makes sense, as the planar boundaries are still up. But with the dragons coming back and the other things we've been seeing, those planar boundaries are faltering. That is something that fought in the wars of the days before the Guild Pact. That's all I can tell you.
Miss Dragon Lady, does that mean that my auntie's trying to summon demons from other planes?
It would seem so. Your new ally Delancre did say that his reportees inside the manor said she was holed up in a ritual room for the last few days working on something. This could very well be what she was working on, although it seems we may have interrupted her before she could get it here, truly in the flesh. A projection of some sort bound by the manor.
Well, I guess that's better than the whole thing, right?
You're all
Having
still alive,
interrupted
right?
it seems that it helped us.
Wait, but how did it know who I was? I looked like Niv. I didn't look like myself.
A higher
Clara,
demon
have
from
you-
another plane can see through simple disguises.
Hold on. Sorry, my thing was frozen.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Founder's working for me again. That's good. Well, I don't think it necessarily matters what that creature was or what it knows. It simply matters that it currently stands in our way, and it's going to be something we'll have to deal with in the future. Nevertheless,
It doesn't stand in our way, it stands in someone who hired us's way. And not
Well,
necessarily...
getting in there to the Blood Witch within that manor is our route to getting that tongue that we so desperately need, so yes, I do believe it stands in our way.
It is not something that we have to immediately deal with. Let's the siege play itself out. Why should we waste our resources fighting this thing when we can just swoop in, rest now, swoop in at the end, and deal with whoever's left standing?
That is understandable, though. Do you think that we should share this information with our current employer? After all, this would be valuable information to the attackers, one that would put us in their good graces for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mama's a bad guy, but it doesn't mean I want her to go to her death by that scary thing.
Well,
according to you, Mama is already dead.
Well, no, you aren't listening to me, guys. She still is my mama. She's just not the name that she's going by.
Are you sure?
Clara,
Yes.
I'm very confused.
Okay,
For this.
man, that was a wall of noise. Somebody has to say that again.
Clara, go.
For the 100th time, Mr. Kai, my mama is the woman you have all met, but she's going by the name of Hakara. But really, the real Hakara was dead, and it's actually the other sister that's like acting as if she's Hakara, and she has multiple children that she's made and disposed of over the time of history, apparently. And now I'm the newest batch of them. And yeah, so she still is the person you met, but she's really not the true Hakara. Does that make sense?
No.
So the person
I
you
think
think is Sakara is actually the sister that people thought was missing.
Ixava,
Was
I
dead.
believe.
Yes. So everyone thinks she's dead, but apparently she actually killed the real Hakara and basically is impersonating her.
I think my confusion lies in your attachment to her. Do you or do you not want her to take over all of Ravnica and commit mass genocide?
Well, I mean, I'm really conflicted, Mr. Kai.
You didn't say no.
Kai.
Yes?
I do think we have to consider that Clara's emotions here are not something that's, as much as it's important to her, may not be imperative to the rest of this mission. Her attachment to whoever is calling themselves Hikara at the moment does not change the fact that she is our enemy and she stands in our way.
What changes
Guys, I
is
don't wanna
how
kill her.
easily we want her to die.
If we get what we want,
Wouldn't we
it won't
do
matter.
filter anyway.
Can't we just put her in some big bad prison or something?
If you can find a solution, if you can find a way to do that, it's surely an option. However, it doesn't seem to be one at our disposal.
Clara, they couldn't keep a lesser thrall of Ixava's in prison.
If time wasn't so critical, I would be inclined to look for another option, but I'm afraid an entity that powerful, that hell-bent on doing bad things, it needs to be stopped any way possible.
Clara, I just fail to see why you have attachment to someone whose entire existence has been lying to you, or threatening to kill you if you do not fulfill their demands.
Well, she never told me personally that she was gonna threaten to kill me.
Okay, who is heavily implied to be ready to kill you at a moment's notice if you do not fulfill her every whim.
No, the only way I know that is because my thrall told me that. She didn't do anything.
Well, of course, why would she tell you that she's about to kill you?
Leverage. Dude, I think we're beside the point. I say we let the siege happen and we go back to our safe house and let this play out, and Fox, as you said, swoop in on the tail end.
So then it would seem you're in favor of not informing Hikara of what lies within this manor.
That is correct.
Well, I'm
I
inclined
have-
to agree with your judgment.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other. Either way, I think we will be dealing with one side or the other. So, pick your poison. If you wish to curry some favor with the one that already is favorable to us, and perhaps get something else in the meantime, that's on you.
Then perhaps we should inform Hikara that we were successful in eliminating the giants that were guarding the main gate, and that her plan can carry out as expected. Maybe if we tell her there's more forces lying within, she may be inclined to provide us more assistance. I'm sure we could certainly use it come tomorrow. Your resounding silence tells me you all think that's a good idea.
My silence tells me whatever is about to happen is going to happen whether we do anything or not. It's just a matter of our position.
Oh, well, yes, but I simply suggested we inform Hikara that we'd done the job she explicitly instructed us to do. Perhaps there will be some extra compensation for us that we can use in whatever ways we see fit.
I agree. And I think we tell her that we did the job that was assigned to us, and do not maybe even say we took down a couple additional enemies like those ogres, but
Yeah.
somehow fail to mention that giant monstrosity and other things that may lie within. That might
Yeah, of
that
course.
might make the battle a bit more even between them, leave them both weakened for us to swoop in.
Well, of course, in our report we will dictate of how we were perfectly stealthy and no one came upon us. In fact, we are due for praise.
They're not expecting anything.
Fox,
Do we think she's
nature
going to
of
believe
this.
that?
Enough
I
to
would
give
not be
us possibly a
surprised if
bigger
it was-
reward? Maybe.
I wouldn't be
Hey.
surprised if there was already a spy on Hikara's side in this castle that saw everything we just did.
Clara's just crying at this point.
Actually, oh well, big question. Where are we going to stay tonight?
Can we not get back to Hakar's manor?
Well, if we're going there, we have to discuss everything now because we can't discuss anything while we're there.
What else do we have to discuss?
What we're gonna do tomorrow. And our story for what we're gonna tell Hikara.
I
Connor,
am more aligned with finding some place of our own that might be perhaps a bit closer to where the battle is going to take.
That might not be a bad idea. That's also going to cost us money. I'm surprised you're advocating for that.
What's the use of
We
money?
have a
if
safe
not
house
used?
now.
Oh, I guess we do. Do they have places we could stay there?
Yeah, there were bedrooms.
Yeah,
A what?
it was like a tavern. Or an inn. It was under the guise of a shut down, like, abandoned inn that Delancre is running as a safe house now. So, like, it is a genuine safe house. You'll have to talk to him if you want to stay there, but there did seem to be places you could stay.
I mean, it'd be kind of a dick move if he said we couldn't, but okay, then maybe that's an option.
Yeah,
So
so
then-
go back to Hakara,
Yeah.
tell her not everything, and just say that we're going to prepare elsewhere.
Like, I say we tell her literally everything that happened. Like, be specific. Like, don't lie. Tell her everything that happened. Just don't mention the big demon thing. They'll find that out tomorrow, I'm sure.
And then, yeah.
And okay, and who was it that was saying that they might have spies in there already?
Me.
All right. Well, Kai, if we should be conscious that you could be correct. If Sakura does in fact already know of what's happened, and she questions why we didn't inform her of the presence of the creature, I think it would be a wise decision for us to tell her that that knowledge of the creature could have halted the attack, and we did not want her to stop. If it's not, didn't somebody say like it was Merolithia that said that like it's not in its full form or something, right?
Yes, it seemed to be some sort of projection. The summoning ritual was not yet complete. That was
Exactly.
That was a partial summon of it.
Okay,
So
if
we
it
need to,
comes
like-
up, then we will not bring it up, but if it comes up, we can say, yes, there was a summoning ritual that we interrupted, and leave it at that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we can do that. I was gonna say, like, we just, like, if she's like, hey, I know there's a giant demon thing there, why aren't you telling me this? We could just be like, oh, we thought if we told you, you'd call off the attack, and, like, we need to beat that thing now.
I don't think that's a good answer at all. Yeah, we thought that, you know, like, this, like, vital information, it would just make you, like, reconsider, maybe.
I mean, fair, but also, if she questions us and asks why we didn't tell her, I think she's gonna know pretty damn well we didn't interrupt the ritual.
You just say that
Like,
we
if-
thought we did.
I get what?
Or
by
that we
running
didn't, we
away?
didn't think, or that we thought it was like some kind of illusion or something.
I mean, we could just literally say, we think she's summoning demon. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
You're good. No, maybe that's.
Did it
Not a bad
actually
idea.
attack anybody? Did it get a hit off?
Yeah, it dealt psychic damage.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Flora.
also
So does
tried to hit
Phantasmal
people
Force,
with-
though.
Yeah, it could be.
Ooh.
So, stop by Hakara's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the move right now.
All right. It is worth noting it's around 10:30 p.m. because you waited until after nightfall to begin the assault, and it's about
Yeah.
a 5-mile journey between the manors, so you'd be looking at probably 2 hours on foot.
No.
So
That
you'll be getting
is
there a
guys
bit
do
after
better than me.
midnight.
Understandable.
Based on the night before and the celebrations, that won't be a problem. Yeah, so you begin making your way back. You kind of follow along the sides of the path where you're still shrouded by the trees until you get towards the city of Winlot. You make your way along the upper roads back towards Hikaru's manor, and once you're within a mile of that, you can hear the Rakowis parading and celebration of the final day of the war party before the march begins. And as you end up approaching a bit past midnight, you can hear that the celebrations are still in full force. Approaching the gate, you are able to seek out some of the guards on the outside, some of those thralls of Hikara. And upon seeing you, they usher you in, and they call over one of the kobold thralls, whisper something, and then he goes, Wait in the chapel. I'll go get Lady Hikara. I'm sure she'd be interested in your report." And you can see that they're, like, he kind of looks you all up and down, and he goes, "And I'll call the tailor for a quick change of clothes and a bath if you need it."
As we're approaching, Clara's gonna be like wiping her tears and like pinching her cheeks to make it look like she hasn't been crying, but is just like tired from a fight.
As we walk over, I just want to say, do we have a preference on who is going to deliver the message?
I don't know. Probably not me.
I don't think it should
I
be
got
me.
+3 to persuasion.
Who's got good charisma?
We do not have
I-
any charisma-based people besides Connor.
Yeah, not Clara.
I
Sounds like
am wisdom based, not charisma based.
yeah, but what is your charisma?
Mm.
So it's either, I would say either me or Tavro.
What's your charisma score?
Zitch, but I have +3 to persuasion.
I also have +3 persuasion.
Alright, better than I got.
I got a -1.
Yeah.
Not you.
Hi, aren't you supposed to be like a politician?
Yes. I will leave it at that.
Nobody said he was good at it.
Charismatic senator known to man.
You know, I guess it makes sense why you left the Azorius.
-1 to politics, aka the most charismatic politician out there.
Tavro, you are known to be the fighter. You've demonstrated that in the pits. Perhaps if you delivered the report of what we fought, it'll hold more weight. You are known as a soldier, at least, so I think there's at least a bit of report you have already. And if any additional questions about anything magical were to happen, I have the expertise in that too, so I'll pipe up then. How's that sound?
Very well.
All right. As you kind of wrap up this discussion, the thralls led you back into that kind of prayer room that you initially discussed your plans with Hikara, Formith, and Zarilla earlier this morning. It does seem to be one of the few rooms where the party goers are not making their way towards it all. There are a few kobold thralls who are maintaining it and continuing up the prayers, but it seems that this area is off limits to those not invited by the lady of the house, who now walks in, gives you all an appraising look, seeing the blood, the lacerations on your bodies, the clear signs that you have been in battle. He goes, "Well, welcome back. I take it that the infiltration didn't go particularly well, but given the state of you all, the fight commenced. What have you to report?"
Both the giants at the front gate have been slain, as well as a number of other, what were they? I suppose, ogres, seemingly in a halfway state of becoming those types of giants, as well as some cambions. So the assault was a success.
Very good. So you've been able to take out at least some of their forces at the main gate. I did know that the infiltration part of that would be a hopeful stretch. You've all done well. And she kind of turns to you, Clara, and goes, And what have you to say, daughter?
Yeah, what Mr. Tavro said, there was the big giants and we took them out, and it sounded like others were coming from the other end, so hopefully it'll be open for you to march in, Mama, and she runs and hugs her.
And she kind of pats your head a little bit and goes, well, I'm very proud of you. And all of you, you've done well meeting my expectations. Now, if everything is good there, you all will be joining the assault tomorrow, correct?
We will need to rest, get back to our full strength. At what time are you planning your march on?
Oh, but of course, you are always welcome to stay at the manor for a well-deserved rest and drink after such a battle. But we will be marching early. I believe the assaults will begin around 6 a.m., but these will be going on. I expect the battle overall to take probably a day, maybe 2 if it's drawn out long enough by Lyzada.
Clara's gonna look up at Hakar and just so, well, Mama, they seemed like they had a lot of strong people there that could take on our forces. How do you think you're gonna handle it? Like, how can we do this well?
And she goes, listen to the cheering, the partying, the revelry outside. Yes, I'm sure she has an army. But over the last few days, we've built one of our own. Ones that are now itching for a fight. Ready to assault my sister. I'm sure that it will be a drawn-out battle between our 2 forces, but that's why the important among us will be doing most of the work. The assault on the manor will be done to take care of their armies. If we can keep them a standstill, then the specialized strike groups, such as your own and your siblings, can go in and take on her specialized forces. Her children, the more elevated of her staff. Those are the battles that matter. What we need the armies for is to distract each other so that none of these individual groups get overwhelmed. Whoever finds Lyzada first simply needs to either kill her or trap her in that little box that I gave you. Either will work.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to join your forces right at the very beginning and then lose our energy by the time that final fight with Lyzada actually happens. I imagine if the siege will last all day, we can join you on the latter half of it.
Yes, it could be beneficial to have a surprise bout of reinforcements in the latter half of the combat.
Exactly. Think of us as the forces of Gondor.
I've never heard of that place
I'm
before.
not familiar with Gondor. Is that one of the Azorius warlords?
Oh, yes, it is, actually.
Well, as much as I hate to think of allying myself with the Azorius armies, I'll take your analogy. One thing I have considered is something Zyrilla's been working on. Part of her innate wild magic that she's been learning to distill touches upon summoning and teleportation. We're not 100% sure it would work. And she kind of like looks over to you, Escher. As you've experienced, it's a bit chaotic. But
Have I experienced this?
yes, I do believe you said you weren't yourself and lost your memories of the time that she was experimenting on you.
Ye-
But
yeah.
that being an example of such chaos. But if you're willing to take the risk in the latter half of the assault, once she's able to get in, she could potentially summon you onto the field, getting you past the main forces immediately, avoiding that part of the assault altogether, and you can strike as a surprise a band of 6 specialized fighters behind the lines who weren't even seen sneaking in, who had already taken out 2 of the giants. Once again, a risk, but one I'd be willing to take.
I trust my sister with my life.
Well, you'll have to.
You- Okay. Alright.
And could she do such a thing with us being anywhere? Would we need to be in a particular spot?
I would need her to explain the details, but I believe it would be akin to a one-time use artifact.
Understood.
You would simply be summoned to wherever she is, assuming that the magic doesn't go awry.
Is there any way for us to be warned beforehand so we can ensure we're battle ready before it happens?
I believe she said it would be you who triggers it.
Oh. Well, I suppose that simplifies things.
We can
Indeed.
set. She is able to communicate telepathically over long distances. She can give you she can give you a warning of when you should use the item, and then at that point, well, it would be up to you.
Yeah, okay. That sounds reasonable.
But achieving such a thing would only be possible if she's able to make it through those front lines, which, if you've taken out some of the external guards of the manor, I believe we'll be able to do that.
Sounds like there's a plan then. I would not be opposed to this.
Agreed.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
Mama, can you tell us more about my cousins? Because if we're gonna have to fight them, anything we know could be helpful. Because if they're as strong and powerful as we are, that could be pretty dangerous.
Yes, well, there are 2 of them that I'm aware of that Lyzada has recovered. I must admit, my knowledge of them is limited, as Lyzada is far more secretive than I am, keeping things closer to her chest. Of course, I do have my spies, but even then, they don't tend to last long in Lyzada's employ. She's a paranoid woman. That being said, there are 2 of them. One was decapitated previously by Formith, only a few days ago. I find it unlikely that he has been respawned yet. It usually takes a week or 2, at least for one of the main children. The other one, a daughter, Somia. I don't know much about how her magic has manifested. What I do know is that she is similar to Zyrilla, an experimenter, trying to figure out the mysteries behind our magic and how it mixes with the rest of the arcane.
Ooh.
Although where Zyrilla does it through her wild magic, my understanding is that mutations and studies into the thralls, making more of them, empowering them, possibly even summoning them, that is where Somia specializes. Unfortunately, I can't tell you much more than that.
Well, it's more information than we had before.
Sorry, what was the name again?
Somia.
Somia.
Somia. I'll just throw it in the chat. So, I will have Zarilla give you the item. Tomorrow, she will message you, Clara, telepathically. When it's done, you all will use it, be summoned to her side, and join the fight at that point. Ideally, this would be once she has already infiltrated the manor and is fighting either Somia, Lyzada, or one of her elite staff.
I suppose that makes sense. Those all sound like things our group could be handle, and I take it you will be there fighting beside us as well?
I will be another of these individual strike forces. Your group is one. Formith is another with his group of thralls, and Zyrilla will be the third, trying to sneak in more as an individual, summoning you all when she is ready. I will try to make my way directly to Lyzada. If I'm able to find her, as much as she is likely the stronger amongst us in pure arcane ability, her paranoia means that she likely won't be thinking as tactically as I will. If I can catch her off guard, I might be able to take her out. If she gets close to killing me, I have my own ways of fleeing.
Excuse me for speaking out of line, but there seems to be a lot of assumptions and maybes in your plan. Would you not prefer us to be fighting at your side when you tackle her? It might be the best use of our skills, after all.
Unfortunately, Zyrilla has made it clear that what she can summon must go to her side, not to anybody else's. And keeping Zyrilla with me during that fight means that she'll be caught in the crossfire. Anyone in the room with me and Lyzada when it happens? Well, they're not likely to be coming out of that room again, unless it's in the last moments when a life is taken.
Wait,
If you'd
what?
like to join the assault with me directly, I won't stop you. But if the 7 of us are in a room with Lyzada, I expect maybe 2 or 3 will come out.
Why?
Magic!
Oh, powerful blood witches, we will... Let's just say there won't be any holding back if Lyzada and I are in a room together. And there's a reason we were blessed by Rakdos.
Kinky.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Please don't say kinky about 2 sisters.
And your own
Even
mother.
more
and
kinky.
your own mother and aunt.
Even more kinky.
This is
Hold
what
on.
we're talking about
Hold on, we have. Oh no, it's not here. We don't have them. Thanks.
That is the mental scream of the psychic damage that goes through all of your heads as Clara starts talking about how kinky it is when her mom and her aunt get into a room together.
Oh, did you use the soundboard? I can't hear it.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I
had
muted
a-
that shit.
Very fair.
Anyway,
So, feel free to join me. It will promise to be a spectacle. But ideally, I either get to Lyzada before anybody else, or you all are able to get to her before she is aware of what's happening and can trap her in that box before she unleashes her true power.
You know, this conversation reminds me. Clara, don't you have a thrall of your own that you could bring to battle?
oh yeah, could I bring Mr. Larry with us?
What?
It hasn't been much time since you've bonded with him. Have you been able to summon him forth yet?
How do I do that?
Then that's a no.
When he sucked upon your marrow,
Kinky.
a bond was formed. Yeah, I realize how I said that one. I regret my wordage.
Sorry. Continue.
You know what? I'll just see myself out. When the
Let's see,
bond
confirm your husband on the soundboard.
when the bond was formed, there should be a tie on the astral level that connects you two. He would have faded out, currently existing between our material plane and, well, frankly, something that I'm not quite sure what it is. When you are strong enough, you'll be able to call him forth. If you pull upon the thread that you feel inside, you can attempt to summon him. But such a powerful thrall, especially as your first, I can't guarantee that you yet have the strength, especially considering how recent the connection was made, to fully manifest it. Maybe more of a psychic connection for the time being, similar to your monastic friend and his draconic spirit.
Yeah.
Does she know about Berlethia?
Yes.
Do you believe that Formith would not inform me? I am well aware of the...
Oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. That was a question for the group.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we know that she knows about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were setting up for a slumber party, but Kai and Formith had a very frank discussion about what they are.
Oh, well, I knew that part. I just didn't know if
Gay.
Tara knew.
Me too.
Oh yeah, the ritual room on the 3rd floor is just an orgy room.
Yeah, obviously.
As it should be.
God, this is the
Alright, I'm
most
muting the fucking
degenerate...
soundboard.
This is our most
That one
degenerate
wasn't me.
session yet.
No, we're not gonna make any money for this.
Why is this worse than the lizard man trying to fuck Tavro?
I haven't done anything. I've been sitting here peacefully this whole time.
Excuse you, he's an alligator.
Zach, it's worse because this one started out of incest.
You know what? That's true.
God damn.
For the 4th time anyway,
Yeah, you gonna finish that?
I'm just trying to change this topic back to the game. Yeah.
I don't even
She's
know
on
what
my
we're
phone.
talking about.
Anyway,
anymore, man.
Kai, you might want
I
to
am-
take a.
Paying attention.
Anyway, Kai, you might want to take a visit to Formith's chambers. This might be the last time you can fuck.
Jesus Christ. Well,
I'm going the fuck to bed, and we will join the battle tomorrow. Not
Yeah.
Hikara's side. We will wait until we are telepathically communicated with by Zarilla, and then we will join the fight on the inside of the castle.
do the
Finally.
talking people want to maybe tell her that we're thinking about not staying here for the night just to clear that?
Well,
Maybe
first we
come up
should
with a
get the
reason?
artifact.
The what?
Well, first we should get the artifact to teleport, and also
Yeah.
if we are able to teleport straight in, maybe we could just stay here and just not talk.
Those are things we can we can consider later. For now, yeah, you're right. Let's get it and then figure out where we're staying for the night so we can, get that long rest in, baby.
Let's
Yeah.
stay here, baby. We need an
Alright.
excuse not to overplan stuff.
Okay.
As I'm assuming
Also,
we're gonna leave, and as we leave, can I say something to Hikara?
Yes, what is it?
If I were to get some grunts, would I have access to the armory?
Yes, any mundane weaponry or armor that you need. I'm sure we have enough to spare.
Okay.
Now, Zarilla should be in her laboratory on the second floor, working on other items for the assault. I'm sure you can find her there, and then, well, rest up, Clara, you have your room, and I will see you all tomorrow. Get ready for a true Rakdos killing spree. It will be a fun time.
Slumber party!
Another one.
To the artifact room.
Yeah, let's get that.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right,
do that ASAP.
you
So we
all
can
head
learn
up
how it works.
up to the second floor, which is completely off limit to all guests. The thralls do kind of bar the stairs, being particular guests and a lady of the house. You are granted passage.
Keep her up the inn.
Sorry.
Ignore me. Go ahead.
You're granted passage to the second floor. Clara leads you over to Zyrilla's room, and as you rasp, you knock a few times on the door, and after a moment, Zyrilla kind of yanks open the door. You see once again this tall lizard folk with goggles, a bit of a lab coat on that seems to be tattered and singed in various places, and she goes, "Ah, yes. Hikara said that Mother said that you might be coming for, so I take it you're going to use my plan. You're going to use it. Wonderful. I do need test subjects. Come in."
I think it's going to depend on which plan, but just to make sure we're on the same page.
I'm going to sneak in, and then I'm going to reach out to my sister, a little telepathic sibling bonding, and then you will all, and you see as she runs over to the desk and comes back with a fairly large potion vial that seems to have a purple smoke inside of it that is shifting around. This has been bonded to me, and it's tied to my wild magic. You throw this on the ground, and anyone who is in the smoke in the moments after the bottle breaks should appear to my side.
And you've tested this before, right?
Yes, it has about a 2/3, a 66.6% successful rate.
And,
What happens in the
and
end?
the other 33.33 repeating percent?
Oh, definitely get out of the cloud as quickly as possible before your skin begins to dissolve.
Oh,
I'm in. Give me that shit.
How big of a
I'm very lucky.
Well-
I never accidentally messed things up. No siree.
Well, you'll know because moments after the vial breaks, you will either be in the manor with me, or your skin will begin to dissolve.
Perhaps I should take the bottle. I'm something of an alchemist myself. Maybe I can increase the likelihoods of that working.
How much of a radius does this explode out in? How close together should we be standing?
It spreads out about 15-foot radius, so you don't have to be huddled too tightly, but at the same time, make sure you're in a fairly secluded spot. You don't want to be dragging in any bystanders. Or maybe you do. Could be fun.
Ah, yes, a few kobold servants would do fine.
My plasmoid. May I just see this concoction for a moment?
Of course, and she hands it to you.
I suppose until tomorrow we can hold on to this.
Yes, please. I will send a message to my sister when it's time for you to join me, and then simply huddle up and throw it on the ground. I guess you could uncork it and it would have the same effect, but it's just not as exciting.
Well, so uncorking the bottle would have the same effects?
Well, the contents would spill out and spread out.
That's
Just
going
wouldn't
to
be
make,
as dramatic as throwing it on the ground.
That's going to complicate things quite a bit, but you seem a woman who's takes pride in her work. Do you mind if I spend some time just to analyze this a little bit? Perhaps test some theories of my own?
Of course, I do only have 2 of them though, so I would recommend, if you're going to use it, do it now. Feel free to test it out, but there's no guarantee that the second one would have the same effect. It would still be around the same chance of, well, the magic is chaotic. I haven't distilled it perfectly yet.
Well, lucky for you, I am a man of science and a rather good one at that. I shouldn't need more than but a few drops.
Oh, if you're looking to analyze a sample, and she like digs around a little bit and pulls out a syringe and goes, I've put a the stopper should be thin enough to go through the stopper without creating a true hole. You can get a few drops out without
Perfect.
actually activating it, if you will.
Yoink. I'm gonna take that. Well, I will certainly see what I can do about this.
Very well. Has Mother told you the whole plan, or do you need any more information?
I think we are rather clear on the whole situation.
Yes, I believe we know well enough.
Wait, Zorilla, where are you gonna be?
Well, ideally, when I summon you all, I will be somewhere in the mansion. I believe with how things have gone, I am to infiltrate the under mansion. Formith will be on the main area, and Lyzada and Mama will be trying to get into the second floor, where we believe Lyzada to be.
Ooh, a little Freudian slip, huh? That sounds reasonable enough. I don't think anybody here would oppose to any of that, and that seems to be on par with what Hakara had told us, so perhaps now it would just be best for everybody to get their rest.
Very good. And one thing to note, when I do call you there, I have a tendency to explode when I'm using my magic. So
We're
giving
familiar.
giving me a wide berth may be beneficial for your health. I'll give it a few seconds before casting any spells after you're summoned.
We
We're
are
used to it.
sisters, and she just hugs her.
Well, yes, of course.
Oh, I'm so glad I took up biology. And if you don't mind me asking, while the rest of them prepare to rest up and tend to their wounds for the night. Do you mind if I use some of your space for the time being?
Oh, are you willing to be a subject for more of my experiments? Of course.
No, I have my own work to do, thank you.
And you see as she, like, puts on a little bit of a pouty face and goes, fine, just don't mess with any of my experiments. If you need the space, just ask before you borrow any of the more volatile ingredients.
Ooh, excellent! And he, like, runs off behind her into wherever she was working.
Yeah, and it's like, it is very clearly an alchemist's laboratory. Like, there's nothing enchanting.
Good.
Like,
That's
there's no
what I
enchanting
wanted.
tools or anything, but, like,
It's more
there
my
are
wheelhouse.
vials of herbs and, like, various liquids and solids and reagents. You see, like, various distilling apparatus set up. It's a fairly extensive alchemist laboratory.
Because basically what I want to do is I want to take some time, like, while the rest of them are kind of getting ready to take a long rest, even if it means I need to take, like, an extra hour on the long rest or something. I want to see if I can kind of do a little bit of experimentation and see if I can kind of stabilize the things she gave us to minimize the chances of it peeling the flesh from our bones.
All right. We will come to that when everybody decides to take a long rest, but is there anything anybody else would like to do before that?
As we step out of that room, I'm just gonna hold Kai back. I'm gonna encode a thought over to him. And I'm just gonna say, are we gonna warn her of the fact that we know there's a demon wandering the undermansion?
We don't know that.
No. So I'll just shake my head at that.
I will nod and accept that answer in its entirety. Oh.
I mean, I think some level of demons is expected.
Yes, we just know there's a big one in the basement.
This is true.
Yeah, but as we learned with Formyth, they will tell Hakara, and then Hakara will know we withheld information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different than Kai's reasoning, but I will accept that if the group is all accepting that as well.
I mean, but we didn't hear it. He encoded it to you, so...
Exactly.
Oh, I would like to also stick my head back in the door and just be like, oh, Ed, talking about stripping the flesh from bones, do you have anything that would dissolve a corpse but leave the skeleton?
Oh, yes. And she, digs around in some of her reagents and gives you, a few vials of, a green bubbling liquid, and she goes, yes, sometimes when we get, corpses from the pit, I dissolve them so that I can get, fresh bones to grind up for my father.
Fox, what are you doing with that?
Your
Good,
father.
this will be excellent. Thank you.
Fox, what are you doing with that?
It is a secret object that will come in use later.
Do I want to know?
Do you want to help?
Maybe? If you are going to be carrying that bottle around with you, I feel like I probably should.
Is there a place you usually do it? I could bring them there instead. I wouldn't want to ruin your mother's carpet.
Bring
And
what
she points over to a medium-sized vat. It seems to be for small creatures, but if you really bent and finagled, you could probably fit a medium-sized human in there. He just goes, I usually put one of the animals in there. One vial is usually enough for a small creature, and then when all of the flesh is stripped away, I grind up the bones and put them in my father.
How long do you suppose it would take to do 5 humans?
What?
Ooh, this
Excuse me?
You were looking to rest tonight, correct? You could
Perhaps.
probably get one, maybe two, but 2 vials, each one takes about an hour to dissolve. I guess you're not grinding them up, are you?
No.
Yeah, so I don't see why you couldn't use 2 vials at once and just let the process complete itself. About an hour a corpse. Maybe a little less.
What you doing there, Fox?
Do you have corpses to dispose of?
Oh yes, my corpse closet.
Yeah, I was about to say, doesn't he literally have skeletons in the closet?
Ah, yeah.
Well, right now he has decaying bodies. I think he's trying
Hey,
to
hey,
get
hey.
skeletons. Yes, you gentle
They're
repose them.
gentle
They're not
repose
dead.
them.
They're not decaying yet.
They are slightly decayed. They are not decaying.
Correct.
Wait a minute. Fox, I have a feeling I think I know what you're planning.
Yes.
Is this why you've been insistent on gathering corpses?
Indeed, and I think an assault on a giant mansion is the perfect opportunity to have some things to, what do they say, take the hits for us.
I should have known with you. Alright. When you do this, just let me know and I'll see how I can assist you. Oh, and bring some extra corpses. I want to try something.
Why does everyone want corpses? What the fuck is wrong with us?
Well, I'm testing out magic stuff, so I'd rather them already be dead.
Can I swing by the armory to requisition 2 short bows and some quivers of arrows?
Yes, you're able to head down, talk to the Kobold Arms Master. You get 2 short bows and 40 arrows.
Then I will go to my closet, find some servant and be like, hey, could you help me carry these? And then start ferrying the corpses down to the workshop.
How many do you have?
5.
Yeesh, okay.
Are you taking all 5 or just 2 of them?
I would like to take all 5 just to have them all there.
All right, so you get like 2 of the kobold thralls that are standing around in the hallways. At first, they're like, yes, can we get you any hors d'oeuvres or a drink, perhaps? And then you tell them to start carrying corpses to Zyrilla's workshop. They give each other a little bit of a skeeved out look, and then they go into Clara's closet, start taking out the corpses, and over the course of maybe 15 minutes, they're able to transfer all 5 to the laboratory. Is anybody else doing anything other than Escher and Fox with their mix of experiments and reanimation?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Clara's gonna rebuild Jerry, while we're home.
That's fair. Yeah, you do have all of the tools and materials. You're able to easily get them from the servants and rebuild Jerry too. And you hand him a grenade.
Actually, I don't think I have any grenades left.
Are you actually out?
Well, because I gave Tavro one.
Yeah, would you like
Right.
it back?
You're gonna willingly give Clara a grenade.
Yes.
I mean,
love
if you
that.
give her it back, she's not gonna refuse it.
I love
Why?
that. I am still
Because
being haunted by
funny.
giving that to you in session 1. All right. With that, I do have a work meeting in 5 minutes, so I think
Yes.
this is a good spot to call the session.
Understandable.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Pat, you weren't there, but one of our clients had a bit of an emergency, so we have to go on, and I have a meeting in 5 minutes to try and resolve that for like the next 2 hours.
So to
I
be clear,
love work emergencies.
is your company like East Coast based?
Well,
Like
my company is Central Time. This client is based in Scandinavia.
Oh.
So that's really bad for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what time? Hold on.
I don't know